How I manifested my SP from no contact to fully living with me in just 4 weeks so that you can do it too and get that SP before the holidays. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jen and I am your weight loss manifestation bestie, where I teach all things law of assumption when it comes to manifesting your dream body and your dream life. So if that sounds good to you, click that subscribe button. Also, if you want to grab my top 7 guided meditation hypnosis bundle pack, the link is in the bio. It's literally only $20 and it's going to change your life while you sleep. Doesn't get any easier. So grab your copy now. Also, if you want a completely personalized, tailored to your needs and desires hypnosis audio, go ahead and click the link in the description below and get your copy today, because it is going to be a one-of-a-kind, completely tailored to you hypnosis audio, and it's fire. So make sure you grab your copy right now. Okay, so how did I manifest my SP back from no contact to fully living with me in a matter of weeks? Now, shout out to Sammy Ingram, because it was a video that I had watched of hers that gave me the idea to manifest in steps, right? Because a lot of time, all these manifestation people be telling you, like, live in the end, just act as if, like, and when you're faced with the opposite in your 3D, it's hard to do that sometimes, right? It's hard to do that, especially given my situation where there was a 3P in the picture. On top of that, we lived one building away from each other, so I literally had to see him every day and her every day. And so it's difficult when you're faced with that to just ignore your reality, just ignore it, and just live in the end. That was difficult for me. So when I came across the video of manifesting in steps, that's what I chose to do. And in case you're new to the game, manifesting in steps is where it's like, okay, what is the first thing I want? Okay, we have no contact, so I want contact, right? So let me affirm for contact. And then once I get contact, then let me move to the next step of the relationship, right? And that's where we're constantly seeing each other, we're together, and so forth. And then, okay, now that that's happening, now let me move to the next step of we're living together. Okay, so that's what I chose to do. It worked like a charm. Now, brief backstory, just because I want you guys to know that my situation was far left, if you will. It was wild. Okay. So if I can do it, given my situation, you can definitely do it, because I can probably guarantee your situation ain't wasn't nearly like mine. Okay. So like I said, there was a 3P here. Okay. And he lived in an apartment building that I had to see him every single day. And he actually worked for the complex. Okay. So she was living with him. So at that time, I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. Like, how is this possible? And that's where I say the how doesn't matter, because you are not going to guess the how, because how I manifested my SP back to living with me, I would have never guessed the series of events that had to transpire for that to happen. Okay, I would have never guessed it. So that's where I say you don't have to worry about the how. Like, the how is irrelevant, because you're probably not going to even guess the how anyway. So it don't matter. You just got to be delusional up in your mind palace, honey. Okay? And that's literally all you got to do. Forget all that other shit that everybody else is telling you to do. Just be delusional in your mind. And I kept reminding myself of that over and over again, is that you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. So just keep going. Like, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. So I came across a video of her that was manifesting the 3P away. Now, mind you, I did all that law of attraction shit, like, all the visualizations, all the techniques to manifest this 3P away. And in 8 months, that shit didn't work. Okay. It didn't work at all. So then I was like, okay, robotically affirm. That's it. Robotically affirm the 3P away. And so I did. So I started robotically affirming. He can't stand her. He's disgusted by her. He wants nothing to do with her. They argue all day, every day, right? Because this is my reality. And so I started affirming that. And because I had to see them every day, and I like to go to the pool and lay out and tan, and his building is right there. So I could, all of a sudden, when I started affirming that, I could literally hear them arguing every single day. And I was like, oh, this is working. This is working. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So I kept going and going and going. And, and all I could hear is them arguing. And then also I remembered, okay, everyone is you pushed out. So people have to show up based on your assumptions of them. Okay. So if you're dealing with a 3P, here's what I want you to do. Not only are you going to manifest them away, but you're also going to change your assumption of the 3P, because this is fire and it's solid. Okay, I'm going to make a separate video just about this. Is what I started doing is changing my assumption of her. I started identifying her as being crazy. I was like, she's freaking crazy. She's crazy. And because this is my reality, they have to show up based on my assumptions of them. She literally became crazy. Like, I mean, literally became crazy overnight, where she was doing irrational things, like very irrational things that only crazy people do. Okay. And I only know about this because when I was robotically affirming also for my SP at the same time, he would tell me that she's crazy. Like he was literally telling me she was crazy because that was my assumption of her. And so because everyone is me pushed out, she had to show up that way. Right. So I used it to my advantage. And so I suggest you use that to your advantage too. Little side tip. Okay. So then I came across and I chose to manifest the steps, right? Where I told you what steps are, where it's like, I want contact. Then I want to see him all the time. Then I want him to live with me, right? Now I want marriage, right? So there's all these steps. So I started robotically affirming throughout my day. Uh, he's so obsessed with me. I'm all he ever thinks about. He's always calling and texting me. He's constantly spending time with me. He'll do anything to be with me. And I would say that all day long. Like I would do it for 10 to 15 minutes, and I would just play it on a loop throughout my day. Okay. And I'm that type of person that I like things fast. So, uh, I'm impatient and I'm okay with that. And so because of that, I would do it as often as possible, like all day, every day if I had to. And the minute I started doing that, he contacted me. Yeah. And he had changed his number, by the way. But he reached out to me and we started talking again. And so I was like, ah, this is working. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And I had to consistently remind myself to not waver. Okay. And we're going to get into that. So all of a sudden, like within probably a couple days of me robotically affirming, he reached out to me and we started talking again. And then every morning he was texting me good morning. And I know it was my manifestation because I would look at a picture of him and I would tell him what to do. Right. And I would tell him what to do. And I would always, every morning, I'd be like, you're texting me good morning. You text me good morning every single freaking day. Like, you're obsessed with me. You're going to text me good morning right now. Like, you text me good morning every day, baby. And I would say that. And reason I say I know it was me is because he would literally, it would be like 12:30 p.m., 1 p.m., and he would text me good morning. Okay. Like, totally not the morning time. And so I was like, got him right where I want him. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Which is why manifesting the steps is so powerful, because you see a little bit of evidence and it encourages you to keep going instead of going all the way to the end of like marriage, right? It's hard to see movement if you're all the way at the end of marriage. So just affirming for contact and for spending time with me and all that stuff, you see movement, right? Because all of a sudden he reaches out and you're like, oh shit, this works. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm getting what I want. I'm getting what I want, baby. And so I kept going. So those manifestations happened really fast, where he reached out to me, contacted me. He was messaging me and calling me and texting me every single day, and like throughout the day. And then he was also coming to see me because, we live one building away. So he would also he also started coming over. And so I was like, oh, this is working. This is working. Keep going. So that was fine. Like that happened really, really fast, like within a matter of days. Okay. And so then what happened was he kept telling me that, like, nope, I'm gonna tell her she's got to move out. Like, that's it. We're all done and we're not together anymore and all that stuff. And so I was like, okay, cool. but a part of me still wanted, like, right, they always say, like, forget what your 3D is showing and forget what people say, go in your mind palace, right? But sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes you want confirmation, right, from that person. And, but don't do that. Okay, don't do that. And don't force your 3D. And I'll get into that too, because it backfires. Okay. And so, um, when it came to the last step of my manifestation, of us living together, of us fully being together, I kept wavering on that step. As I kept doubting, I kept questioning, like, okay, he said that he's going to kick her out, like, to this week, like, is it happening? Right. And then I would ask, or him, and that's forcing the 3D, right? Is you should just do it up in here, not out here. Okay. And so every time I would try to force the 3D, it would backfire on me, right? It would backfire and it would slide back. So I had to keep going into my affirmations. And I found that the last step was a little difficult for me because I kept wavering, I kept questioning, I kept doubting. And so finally I said, that's it. I'm all done. I ain't wavering no more. Fuck that. No wavering at all. I'm going to keep going. I don't care what my 3D shows me. I don't care. I'm just going to keep going in my mind palace, and that is it. And so I made that firm decision and I kept going. And I kid you not, the amount of series of events that transpired for my manifestation to come full circle was wild. Like, it was wild, the amount of events. Long story short, I fell asleep on my couch and literally, and I swear, I was like, today is the day. Today is the day that I get my manifestation. Like, that is it. And I selected a date and I fell asleep on my couch. And yeah, I don't lock my front door sometimes. So don't come for me for that. But anyway, I probably should. But anyway, um, all of a sudden I woke up at midnight to him standing over me in my place. And I was like, is everything okay? Because it was like midnight. And he's like, oh no. He goes, I had to call the cops because she went crazy. I had to call the cops and I had to leave my place. So he actually ended up moving out of his own apartment and in with me. And the day that he moved in with me was the exact day that I gave it. That was the exact day that I assumed it would happen. Okay. And when he was telling me what transpired, I would have never guessed it. It was crazy. It was like wild events. Okay. And when I say wild, I mean wild. Okay. And so he ended up living with me, right? And she ended up staying in his apartment, stupid, for like a week, for a month, excuse me, without him. And he was living with me one building away. And then she ended up moving out and he ended up going back to his apartment. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, we're living together. We are living together. So I kept affirming. I kept affirming. I kept affirming. Right. And we were together. We just weren't living together anymore because he moved back to his apartment. So I kept affirming, kept affirming, kept affirming. Well, oddly enough, he ended up leaving his employer because he couldn't do the job anymore. Because, long story short, he got injured on the job, which is why I also say, watch your manifestation, your assumptions. Okay. That's a story for a whole nother day. But he ended up, he had to leave his job because they wanted him to go back to work and he was injured and he could not do the job anymore. But in order for him to, when he left his job, because his apartment was being provided by his employer. Okay, so when he decided, I have to leave my job, I can't do the job anymore, he also had to give up his apartment. So, would have never guessed that either. Okay, would have never guessed that. And so he moved in with me. And now we're happily living together. We have the best relationship ever. And he's madly in love with me because my assumptions manifest. Okay. And he's easy for me to manifest because I had convinced myself that he's the easiest for me to manifest. And I always remind myself that he does whatever I affirm. And he does. Like, literally, I tell him what to do in my mind. And he does it. He does whatever I affirm and he does it quickly. Like, anything that I want from him, because I assume that he's the easiest for me to manifest, he conforms within an hour, like literally within an hour. I wanted him to change his phone number when he moved in with me because, again, his ex is crazy. My assumptions manifest. Okay. And so I wanted him to change his number, right? Because I wanted a clean slate. And so I literally pulled up a picture of him and was like, "You're changing your number right now. You're changing your number right now. You're changing your number right now." And I said it like for a minute or two. 20 minutes later, he walks he walks into our home and he goes, "I'm changing my number." And he changed his number because I assumed he would and I affirmed that he would, right? It's powerful. It is so powerful. So I want to tell you guys my story and how I did it so that you can do it too. Okay. The key is to not waver, to keep going in your mind palace and to just, I find it's easier to manifest in steps, especially when it comes to your SP, because there's a lot of resistance there. There's a lot of emotion attached to, you and your SP. And so do that, do whatever's going to release that resistance, but also help you step into that assumption much, much faster, right? Because you're going to see movement. So if you're manifesting for marriage only and you're in no contact at all, like sometimes that's difficult because you don't see the movement, right? Because you're not married yet. So you don't see the movement. But if you can manifest contact, then you see the movement. Then it furthers your assumption of, "Oh, I got this shit. Like I'm a master at this." Like, yes. And it helps you keep going and it encourages you to keep going. But the key is to not waver. Okay. Because every time I wavered at the last step, it would slide back. But don't worry, because even if it slides back, it's okay. Because all you have to do is keep going and it comes right back. Right? It's like a slingshot. It may slide back, but it's going to come right back. Okay. And it's going to keep going back. So don't worry about it. Just keep going. If you've been trying to manifest your SP for a long time, throw that law of attraction shit in the trash and just robotically affirm over and over and over again that this is what it is, and change your assumption of him. Okay. Change your assumption of him. Who do you want him to be for you? And start assuming and robotically affirming that he is that person for you. And he will be. And he will be. People are the easiest to manifest. Like they're the easiest to manifest. Is literally they change like night and day based on your assumptions of him. So only assume good things about him. Only assume that he is perfect for you, that he does whatever you want him to do, that he treats you like a queen, that he worships the ground that you walk on, that he is obsessed with you, that he wants nothing. He doesn't even notice another female. He only wants to be with you. Start telling yourself that over and over and over again. Work on your self concept and know that no one compares to me. No one fucking compares to me. I'm that bitch. Like I'm the one, period. And he will start seeing you as that person. Okay. And then if there's a 3P in the situation, change your assumption about that 3P, because I promise you, they have to show up how you perceive them. So I started perceiving her as being crazy, and she started showing up as batshit ass crazy, literally. And my SP started calling her crazy because that was my assumption of her. And so I kept going, and that's still my assumption of her. And you want to know what she still is? Crazy. Okay. So use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Use everyone as you pushed out to your advantage. And choose how you want that person to be. And they will be exactly how you assume they are. Okay, so that's a little sidey note to note. Okay, so go get your SP, baby. Go get your SP, manifest your SP back in steps. Okay, and get that SP for the holidays. Because if you do exactly what I told you I did, I promise you, you are going, and you can, and you persist. You persist through the tears too. I used to never understand that when they would say like, "It doesn't matter, persist through the tears." And I was like, how the hell do you cry and persist? Like, I didn't understand that until it happened to me, until I heard something that I didn't like, and it started to make me cry. And I remembered, oh, this is what they mean. Persist through the tears, affirm through the tears. So even though I was crying, I was affirming. I was affirming. I was affirming. Nope, he's obsessed with me. He can't stop thinking about me. He's always calling and texting me. He's constantly spending time with me. He'll do anything to be with me. I kept going even when I had tears streaming down my face, and it still manifested quickly. Okay. The key is to not give up, not give up, persist. If you want your man or you want your girl, persist, 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 and remind yourself of who you are, that this is my fucking reality. What I say goes in my reality. I'm the operant power. I'm a master at manifesting. I always get what the fuck I want, and I get it when I want it. I would remind myself of that every morning I woke up. I still do. Every morning I wake up, I remind myself of that. And it's true. It's true. I always get what the hell I want, and I get it when I want it. And my SP shows up exactly how I want him to show up. He does whatever I want him to do. If I want him to cook dinner tonight, he's cooking dinner tonight. Okay? Because I tell him what to do in my mind. Don't do it here. Don't do it here. Okay? Because it backfires. Because when you do it in your mind, it becomes their idea. When you do it out here, it's a command now. It's no longer their idea. You're telling them what to do. That doesn't work. You cannot force the reality. So go in here, and just keep telling yourself over and over and over again. Do this, and I promise you're going to get that SP before the holidays. So go get your man, go get your girl, because this is exactly how I did it. I know it works. I'm living proof that this works. So go get what you want. Command it, baby. This is your reality. Don't let anybody take your man. Don't let anybody take your girl. Like, period. Go get your man back, because this is your reality and he's yours. If you can desire him, you can have him. And a version of him exists exactly how you want him to be. So that's all you got to do. Okay? So that's my story. That is exactly what I did. I wanted to share it with you because I want to encourage you and empower you and inspire you that you can do it too. No matter the odds that are faced against you, no matter what you see, no matter your situation, because I'm telling you, I can guarantee your situation wasn't more wild than mine, okay? And the series of events that had to transpire for me to get my full manifestation were a lot, but it happened. Because if you persist and you don't waver and you keep going, whatever has to happen for that to become true has to happen. Whoever has to move to aid in your manifestation will move. And circumstances don't matter. They literally don't matter, because in my situation, if circumstances mattered, I wouldn't be with my SP. But circumstances don't matter. I've proven that to be true over and over again. Like, I'm good at manifesting him, okay? And so because I'm good at it, I'm good at telling you exactly how to do it, okay? Because this is exactly how I did it. And so go get your man, go get your girl. You deserve it. And don't let anybody stand in your way, because this is your reality and you're the God of your reality and you're a master at manifesting. So tell yourself that, and don't react to what you see. Keep going in your mind palace and remind yourself, I don't care if you have to robotically affirm it all day long. Do what you got to do to get your man, girl. Okay? All right. I hope this video helped you. I hope it inspired you to know that you can get your SP. It's really not that difficult. You just have to persist, no wavering. All right. So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and like this video. Also, subscribe to my channel and drop a comment with a crown, because you're going to put on your crown, bitch, because this is your reality. Okay. Drop a crown if you want your SP. Okay. And come back to this video, save this video, because I want you to come back and I want you to comment when you get your SP back, when you have seen movement, when you have gotten contact with your SP, whatever you've gotten that you're affirming for, come back and drop a comment so that you can inspire people and encourage people and let them know that it's possible for them too. Okay. Because everyone deserves to have the love of their life and to be happy and to have their SP before the holiday. All right. All right. I will see you in the next video. Bye.